Excuse me, sorry. Hi, welcome Aquarius. This is Tarot Lumination with your love and relationship report for December 2017. Thank you very much. We've done this before. You know the drill. Watch for your sun, moon, and rising. That's the convention here in the tarot. That's what people do. And you can even do your cross watching if you want, for a significant other. Uh, People write in about how that can be very helpful sometimes. Cards were well shuffled in advance of recording, just letting you know, but I like to go to the last second so that you're a witness. We're working on the assumption that you're pretty much okay with the laws of attraction, and there's the idea that there's you, there's a significant other, and also that there is the thing called the relationship itself, which has an integrity and an identity and energy of its own, okay? And in a healthy relationship, both parties are aware of that, and they own that, and they invest in that, and they maintain that. The relationship is sacred, okay? So we'll see what happens. Did I say that? Watch for your sun, moon, and rising. That's the convention. No jumpers, no flyers, no oracles, no reversals, nothing. We're just going to keep it kind of pretty basic and simple and let a little story come out. And then you guys can reinterpret however you want, okay? So a couple things, Aquarius, you're living through this Leo North Node chapter for the next year or so. So that could be, interesting, let's just say the least, in terms of relationships, because it's the idea is for you to become much more Leonine in your nature, which is so completely contradictory to how you would be. And yet that's what we're being called to do. All of us are being called to be our brighter, shinier selves, including you, Aquarius. Also for you, Aquarius, we got December. It can be really favorable in some ways because the whole Gemini Sagittarius axis can be very supportive and harmonious for you. There is the big Jupiter in Scorpio dynamic that's going on right now. It started just a while ago and it's going to go for about a year. So that's hitting you right up at the very tippity top of your chart, like in the career, your place in the world, and your relationships might be affected in that way, especially like, in the public eye, so to speak. Anyway, let's not go into that too much. Let's just pull the cards and see what happens, okay? So you know the drill. All right, here we go. All right, we're going to cut. I like a nice clean deck. And then we're going to read for you. See what comes up. All right, Aquarius, here we go. And I'm sorry if I sound like I'm talking like a teacher to school children. I don't mean to do it that way. A couple of people wrote in about how it sounds weird. I'm sorry. I apologize. I do the best I can. This would be your energy. This would be the significant other, a chosen one, a chosen relationship where there's investment. This is deep inside of you. This is deep inside of the other. This is the relationship itself. Can you see the crucible here? This is the bowl-shaped structure. This is the entity in which the relationship is conducted. In a healthy relationship, the crucible is very strong and both parties invest in the relationship so that the crucible can withstand the intense pressures of relationship as we intimate, as we separate, as love is nurtured and nourished and fostered. This would be the momentum, so to speak, like a, where's it going? And under here in a second, we're going to look at the weather, circumstantial energy that's like prevailing conditions right now. And you, Aquarius, of course, you're going to make the best of it. You're not going to let the weather own you. What have we got? We got the King of Pentacles. So my feeling right now as Aquarius is that to me it feels like there is a yearning, a deep, deep desire to reach this kind of level of mastery of self where it's tangible, it is evident, and you are being, let's say, supported by the universe. In other words, I feel like there's quite a lot of congruence between Aquarius wishing to be the ultimate Aquarius, knowing that it's a challenge at all times, especially in these conditions. And at the same time, the universe is supporting you. Heaven is there saying it's okay to do that. It's okay to follow these prompts and quirks and intuitions and whatever it is, angelic guidance, whatever you want to call it. that's leading you to be the new Aquarius, because it does impact your relationships, no question about it. If you're seeking to find like that ultimate ability to, let's say, make stuff happen in this world in a way that's in alignment with you, so you can rise up to this level of sovereignty of self where it's evident not just to yourself but to others, like, wow, Aquarius, you really got your stuff together, man. Male, female, younger, older, doesn't matter. Maybe you're in high school, maybe you're in a career, maybe you're a parent, maybe you're you know, in a very, very challenging situation. Either way, it's all about coming into mastery and owning the tangible aspects of your world in a way that works. It doesn't necessarily mean like, oh, I'm going to get rich, or somebody's going to make me rich, or I'm going to marry a rich person. You know, if you want to look at it that way, you can. I don't see it or feel it that way personally, but I just want to give you my perspective. What about you? Okay, so I don't know why I'm laughing, but instantly I felt this feeling like, dear Aquarius, right now you're a mystery to yourself. You might not really like fully get what the heck is going on right now, even with like the supportive energy of the, like, say, this the Gemini Sagittarius full moon, and then the Sagittarius new moon late in the month of December, which is really pretty harmonious for you. It feels to me more like it's almost like you are like maintaining your, let's say, dignity, your poise, your, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female watching this, okay? This is a female card. It's extremely like hyper female energy. It's like the energy of mystery, like the mystery of womanhood. But guys can radiate that too. A guy can just walk into a room and just be who they are, and then stuff happens because of the energy that they radiate. But they don't have to explain it. It could be just very, very, very deeply subliminal. And so with you, Aquarius, my feeling is that you are going through a phase right now in December where there might be patterns, experiences, observations, things going on inside of yourself that are baffling to you and perhaps baffling to others as you live through this much more tangible, understandable energy of material, worldly, three-dimensional capability. Okay, so it's almost like trying to turn a mystery into reality. That's what I'm feeling. Like if you, Aquarius, are perplexed and perhaps aware that there are things that you need to know, issues that you need to understand, and they can't be accessed through three-dimensional reality, and yet that's the only way that we operate, because you're a human being in a physical body. Like, so what do I do? How do you, as the Aquarius, like figure out your own mystery? How am I supposed to be this awesome new Aquarius so I can be the better Aquarius for myself and for my loved one, my significant other, and they would appreciate me in return? How do we do that? And some parts of it you might know already. You might be very, very well aware that there are sometimes great advantages to being very, very, let's say, private or very self-assured, but in a way that's not demonstrative. In other words, you are literally minding your own business, understanding that it happens at the very, very deepest spiritual levels of your being, and you're just taking care of that and doing that and being that, and it's no one else's business except yours. The question is, how does that translate outwards into three-dimensional reality? Because if you would go to a mirror, for example, I'm not saying this person yet, that'll come up in a moment, but if you just went to your own place and looked in the mirror, you'd be actually to the point where you're really puzzled about yourself. And that's okay, being a mystery of yourself, because sometimes we go through those phases where we literally realize we're kind of like beyond our capacities to understand who we really are. And maybe we're not supposed to know, okay? Sometimes it's okay to have mystery, to live in the unknown, to accept that not everything is known all the time. In other words, if you already knew the whole story about Aquarius, Aquarius Mark 1, Aquarius Mark 2 coming into being with all the Leo North Node journey and all of that, and the Jupiter and Scorpio powerful transformational healing dynamic and all of that, cool. And then you just like fast forward right to the end of the movie and say, oh, okay, now I get it. Now I figure it out. So now I don't have to go back and live through the movie and all the traumas and the dramas. Okay, that's not allowed. You're a human being. You live through this phenomenon called time. And so even though you might crave to be your ultimate self, you can't just leapfrog to the end of the mystery like you would do in a novel or something, and you get frustrated and you just jump to the last 10 pages to figure it out. We're not going to do that here, okay? We're going to figure it out the hard way, the long way, and just do what works incrementally. Okay, let's have a look. So it might be very challenging because you might be dealing with a lot of things that are intangible. Okay, like how do you hold on to fog? How do you hold on to things that don't make sense to you? How do you try to make concrete, workable solutions and decisions in really, really important relationship dynamics when you don't even know what the issues are or the problems are? There's nowhere else to turn except oneself, and then figure it out from within. But not everybody wants to do that. It's actually very, very hard to do that. What about the other? Let's have a look. Okay. Well, maybe they've got plans of their own, because they might be completely perplexed by what the heck is going on with my dear beloved Aquarius. Like, hello, Aquarius. Like, you're awesome, and I totally dig you, and you've got this amazing like aura. Wow, so cool. But frankly, I have no idea what's going on. So if you don't mind, I'm starting to like figure out what I've got to take care of myself over here, because it's very hard for me, the significant other, to make concrete, viable workable decisions for us and our love life and our relationship when I have no idea what's going on with you, because you're a mystery to yourself. Uh-oh. Okay. There's nothing really good about that or really bad about that. These things happen in loving relationships. You, Aquarius, are just being you, and their significant other is just being themselves, and you're figuring it out the best ways that you can. It just might be a little bit polarizing, and your energy might be putting a significant other kind of on the spot where, like it or not, they're having to figure out, well, what am I supposed to do now? How am I going to figure out who I'm supposed to be when this is all stuff, well, this stuff is being worked out with you, and I'm not privy to all of it. You are not even privy to all the mysteries that you need to know about yourself. It's awkward. So you Aquarius, might be feeling that you're relating with someone who's kind of like maybe distancing themselves and starting to figure out a pathway and a plan for themselves that works for themselves, that doesn't necessarily include you. Okay? And that happens in relationships. People have to like mind their own business. You have to be you. You have to allow them to be them, which is the big challenge we've been dealing with for a long time now, with this that Jupiter and Libra thing, and that huge Uranus and Aries thing, massive polarity, relationship dynamics changes. Like, how do you honor and respect and maintain your individuality and integrity and claim that and own that, and still allow that in the other, grant the other the same thing? It's very difficult to do. Puts everybody kind of on the spot. So where does that take us here? What about going deeper inside of you? Bam-o. Well, at least you got this. It's almost like thinking, you know what? I'm Aquarius. Yeah, I have these big deal challenges and I can handle it. And I'm a very unique, quirky kind of person. Thank you very much. And I know some people think that I'm kind of strange and weird. But you know what? Frankly, I don't care. Because I got this. I got this. I always know that I got this. Deep, deep, deep in my core, I'm just a radiant, loving being. And that's all there is to it. And if I don't even get myself, that's okay. Because I admit I am an enigma. I am an enigma to myself. I am an enigma to others, and that's okay. That's why we have the word enigma. You, Aquarius, are enigmatic. And if other people don't get it, that's their problem. Okay? So it's kind of like, it's okay. It's like, cool. It's just like, well, that's what they're supposed to happen. It's just like, that's what they would have said on Terra Illumination anyway. Go for it. Be your most awesome, amazing, unique, uh, quirky, enigmatic self, and just go for it and live it and be happy that way. And then let others, be themselves. You don't have to mold yourself and adjust yourself to accommodate what they don't understand about you. You are obliged, and you're just doing what you are doing to be you in a way that works for what is best. Now, this is your relationship reading, okay? It's not a couples reading. There's not you over there and your sweetheart over there hanging out with Terra Illumination. No, this is all about you, Aquarius, and we're just dealing with a significant other over here. I'm just saying, okay? So you can take all this as your energy, your reflection, okay? So it's like in your own weird, quirky way, you're doing what you have to do to be you at the highest levels. And not only, I'm feeling, are you, let's say, aware of it, you're claiming it, you're owning it, you're being that, and doing that in a respectable, honorable, dignified manner that is the most loving way to do for the maximum benefit and outcome for yourself, which is ultimately what's best for the other, which is the best way to invest in the relationship so that the relationship is valuable, is solid, is worthy, has this high degree of integrity. Now, I'm not saying it's easy. It might be extremely challenging. For all we know, Aquarius, you might be under intense challenges right now. And yet, you're handling it in your own quirky way, and they're having to deal with it in their own way because it's a committed relationship here. Can you see the crucible here? This is a crucible. This is a bowl. And the bowl in a really healthy relationship is there to withstand the intense pressure of the things that happen between you, Aquarius, and a significant other as you intimate and separate and grow and evolve in life, okay? It puts tremendous pressure on the relationship itself. Be loving, be loved. Be loving, be loved. That's all we're doing here, okay? Over here, let's have a look. Okay, so again, I'm not a numerologist, so please don't ask me, but it's hard not to notice the twos with the twos, and I feel it's very, very much to do with decisions here, and decision making is a very, very important phenomenon. It is a time-based phenomenon, and human beings have to do it and deal with it all day, every day. And in order to evolve and love and grow effectively, it's really important to take the highest degree of ownership of your decision-making capacities in life, because that affects your love life and your relationships and the outcome. In other words, by your decisions, this is what is available to you. The potential for having something really good, really solid, and durable for the long term with high levels of integrity, where you and your own quirkiness and your own awesomeness, indestructible awesomeness at the core, can have a chance to rise to this level of sovereignty and ownership. Even if no one else fully understands it, even if you don't fully understand it yourself, you're still living it through. And that's really awesome for you, Aquarius. However, for the other party, it might be challenging because you are honoring yourself. And if they, let's just say they do love you and they are committed to you, or even if they're in a very challenging dynamic with you, it's understandable because you're going through huge shifts and changes. And there's a lot of pressure. So that can affect the other party to the point where deep down they might not even know what to do. They might be so confused about what's going on with them in their own life and also what's going on with you in your life, that they don't know what to do. With the Two of Swords here, my feeling is that they're exercising their right to decide not to decide. And that to me is like a defensive move. It's just like, I'm not quite sure what's going on. I want the best outcome for me. It's hard to make really effective decisions when, from my perspective, I can't really tell what's going on with you. You're being you. That's great. Awesome. But wow, but where does that leave me? I don't know. I have to make the decision to decide not to decide if I have to every now and again. And that doesn't mean I'm abdicating my decisions. It just means I need to think about this for a while before I make effective decisions, because it's hard for them to make really tough decisions. Um, Perhaps with your energy, the way it's going on over here, with your intentions, Aquarius, to be you. Okay. So where does that put the relationship itself? Okay, so my feeling here is that with the little Six of Cups, it's almost like one of those dynamics. Well, it might not be really comfortable. I'm sure a lot of you have watched those like twin flame videos and soulmate videos and tons and thousands of videos about, like, your love life coming together. How am I going to manifest my loved one, my love life, and all of that? And you start realizing, like, oh my gosh, maybe you've actually got one of those right now. Maybe you're right deep in the thick of let's say, a karmic relationship, a karmic love relationship. Perhaps it is what they call a twin flame relationship. Oh, wow. Okay. Or a past life relationship that is coming to presence. Or with the energy dynamic here, where the intentions are very, very good. As you can see, there's two beautiful, innocent souls here who obviously have the best of intentions. But there is a high degree of, let's say, curiosity here, because some people think of this card as very nostalgic, to do with the past. And it might be, okay, I'm just getting really wooey here. That's what we do at Tarot Lumination. It might be, Aquarius, that you're dealing with some very, very deeply buried past life issues that are really coming to the surface in this lifetime right now, in December, with a significant other, in a way that needs to be resolved. And the only way you can resolve it and evolve and grow is to really, really, really be absolutely true to you in the process, and allow them to do the same, no matter how much pressure it puts on the relationship. Because sometimes we have to go through incredibly challenging periods in our lives when it comes to relationship dynamics. And that's just part of the process of intimacy and separation. Intimacy and separation. Sometimes, in one lifetime, people have a lot of intimacy and separation, multiple relationships. Some people get married for life and they do all their intimacy and separation in the context of one significant marriage type relationship. Some people, they reach a pressure point where the process of intimacy and separation becomes intolerable, and it just goes kaboom, and it can't survive in that particular lifetime. But the shockwaves and ripple effects move into new lifetimes, and hopefully, if two parties still want to resolve what needs to be resolved, especially if there was a lot of unresolved stuff, baggage, unfinished business, it might be, Aquarius, that you're in one of those relationships right now, which could be defined as a soulmate relationship. And just because it's a soulmate relationship doesn't mean it's all gooey and romantic, like a gorgeous love story in a film. It could be that there's a lot of homework going on here in the context of a soulmate relationship, with certain aspects of the relationship that you were not able to deal with, let's say, in a previous lifetime or earlier in your lifetime. If this is current, like if this is a nostalgic relationship from the past and it's coming back to the future right now, like in your present day, and it feels like, oh, like someone in, like, forget past lives altogether and trying to bring it back into current life. But anyway, it's that feeling of soulmate. So where does that take you? Big, big, big effing decisions. So what are you going to do with all this? Okay, Aquarius, it's like there is a lot at stake here. A lot is at stake. My feeling is that we're dealing with a very significant relationship, but it's also very challenging. It's very challenging for them to deal with this significant relationship. You're just being you, Aquarius. But in the process of reflection that happens in significant relationships, when two parties end up basically being like this with each other, when it's really, really, really face on, and it's not that, and it's not that, and it's not that, it's this, and you're dealing with it because you've decided that we have to deal with this, then it puts the relationship, which includes you and a significant other, in a position of like profound decision making. Like, what are we going to do here? Is this really the real deal? Are we really, really going to go absolutely for broke here, where I, Aquarius, take you and all of you, the best of you and the worst of you and all the very worst? And are you willing to take all the very worst of me? And then they're asking themselves the same questions of you. Gosh, can I handle this, Aquarius, and take it to this level? Can I live through this intense period? And that's a decision, okay? It's an ongoing decision. I feel that you have the power and the strength and the ability to do this, Aquarius, and this is kind of what you need. And you need someone who can take that much pressure and endure with you so that you can figure out what you need to figure out about you in the context of relationship when it comes to making very important decisions about this relationship. Like, are we going to get married or not? Are we going to divorce or not? Are we a true life match? Are we really deeply, truly soulmates? Are we healthy, loving soulmates? Are we karmically very challenged soulmates? What's going on here? And I'm not a fortune teller. Tarot Illumination is not a fortune teller. You can reinterpret this however you like. I'm just going to give you my spin on the story. That's all. So please enjoy. Thank you for coming to Tarot Illumination. Make the best of this. There's a lot at stake here. Okay, Aquarius? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.